What's going on, my people, and welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be discussing Uncharted 2022 that just recently came out. And we're going to get straight into it. This movie, after many years, we finally have an Uncharted film. It was based on a game. I did play the game when I was a little younger. Haven't caught up to the recent games yet because I'm not much of a gamer like I used to be back in the day. But I'm going to start off by saying this movie was a pleasant surprise. The film is based on the popular game franchise, and today I have watched it, and here's my review for it. The premise of the film sees a young man getting recruited to go on a hunt for a long lost treasure, right? Just like in the game. The main character in this is played by Holland. He plays Nathan Drake, and I can't help myself because he's really entertaining to watch, as he is in all his movies. And I think this is just because of Tom Holland's natural charm and charisma, which manages to drag him through the movie in a positive way. But the issue is that he just isn't what I wanted from the Nathan Drake character. He's not what I expected on screen, especially transitioning from the game to the silver screen. I expected something just maybe a little different. Not that he didn't do a good job, but it wasn't what I expected. He's nothing like his video game counterpart. And to me, that was a big shame. I was watching the film and all I saw was like Peter Parker without a Spider-Man costume. Unfortunately, I feel like in the future, he's going to be a little typecast when it comes to that, but I don't think it's affecting his career yet, right? As he's getting work left and right. And hopefully this is not because the film came out just after Spider-Man No Way Home, but I do worry that Holland in the future might be considered a one-trick pony, even though he's multifaceted, multi-talented, but he can only do that one English voice, and he sounds just like Spider-Man. Continuing with the supporting characters, you have Mark Wahlberg here that plays Sully, and it is a similar story to our main character, especially in the game. He has plenty of natural charisma to him. Come on, it's Marky Mark. And his chemistry with Holland is actually really good in the film. At least there's sort of a character development on show in this film. But I felt like it was Mark Wahlberg walking around and the character of Sully from the video games that was one of the main issues for me. He's just the same as he is in every other film, sad to say. And that was a slight shame for me. I expected him to be a little different in this. Sophia Ali plays Chloe, and I actually quite liked her. She was actually a character that I looked forward to seeing throughout the movie. She was the one performer I didn't recognize. It made her feel like an actual character because I didn't really know about her. And somebody who was actually interesting to watch during the movie. The bad guys didn't work, though, for me especially. Antonio Banderas, as much as I love him, he's your generic villain in this. And I don't know, but when it comes to being a European bad guy, this wasn't it. You need somebody that's going to be this brooding figure. You need somebody that's, not that Antonio Banderas doesn't have the acting chops, but you got to make it more realistic. You have Ty Gabrielle, who's a better villain, but she isn't great either. She was at least a physical enemy to Nathan Drake, but the acting when it came to her failed. The story, to me, did a pretty good job of showing a young Nathan Drake starting his career and leading us on this journey of a fun adventure story across the globe. And it has shades of Indiana Jones to it, which I quite liked. There's some sort of character development attempted, and the actors seemed like they were having fun here. So, you can take that with a grain of salt. But there's a lack of depth. There's a lack of direction to the overall plot. Many plot holes in this, which surprised me because it's a simple game adaptation to screen. You just follow the game. I think it could have needed a different pacing. I think there were pacing issues. Some were a bit better than others, but I wish it would have focused more on characters a bit more, and gave gave the villains a better motivation throughout the plot. The script has a surprising amount of humor in it. I found myself laughing pretty much throughout the film, mixed with a bit of the film has a lot of heart. It kind of reminded me of Spider-Man, but there isn't enough there. I didn't care about the characters enough. Sometimes I felt like the film relied on its star power with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg instead of actually crafting a better written story for the heroes and for the villains as well. The style has some really good action scenes, including that cargo plane scene that you see in the trailers. That scene was actually really great. Kind of reminded me of a Fast and the Furious kind of scene. And the film, it goes all out. It's pretty relentless. The adventure moves at a pretty good break. And I think that also has its negatives also, because it harms the characterization, the character backstories in a way, because, you don't really get too much about these characters. The film starts off with action, ends with action. It's action throughout, but, I just wanted more story, and you need more in the plot for the film. That's what I'll say about that. It was a fun action film without the depth needed to become a good film. Overall, Uncharted, for me, was a pretty average adventure film. There's some good here for sure. And Sony, I'm sure, is hoping to make this franchise, make it a franchise with multiple sequels. But this didn't necessarily do it for me. But it does get me excited for maybe the future. Maybe they'll definitely get it right in the sequel. And I do recommend this if you was a fan of the game. Go check this out. It wasn't a bad adaptation to a video game. It just lacked some story. It lacked some elements that the games necessarily didn't have. And what I didn't like also is this combined a lot of the games. Instead of just going for, maybe the first two games. And you can tell that they were hoping to hit it all in one movie instead of just giving it time to breathe and eventually developing into a trilogy or maybe multiple sequels. But overall, I give this, sad to say, I give it a 6 out of 10. You could definitely go watch it. It is exciting. And if you're just looking for an adventure movie, this is your movie. If you're looking for story and execution, like A National Treasure or The Mummy, this is not it. But definitely go check it out. I rate this 6 out of 10. And if you liked this review, please hit that notification bell, hit that like button, share this with your friends and family. Until the next one, peace.